Elgin Baylor, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic are all amazing players in the history of basketball, but all of them just came a little short, according to the media, to the top 20 players of all time. And that's what this video is about. I'm going to be ranking the top 20 NBA players of all time, but it's not based off of me. This is not my list. This is not my opinion. This is not what I think. I am just the messenger. This is the media. So basically how I did it was I went to 5 different sites. I don't remember what the sites were, but basically on each site, you know, they'll have their top however many players of all time. I just narrowed it down to top 20. So their top 20 NBA players of all time. So what I did was for each site that had a top 20 players of all time, basically say, we'll just pull a random name, Baron Davis. So say Baron Davis on one list was the number 1 player of all time. That's 20 points. If he on the next list was 20th all time, that's 1 point. There was some people who made some lists that weren't able to make it all the way. So if you made a list at number 20, then you got 1 point, but it wasn't enough to actually keep you on the list all time. And before we do start, I do want to say that this list was made 2 to 3 months ago. I thought of this video a long time ago, but I didn't make it simply because I'm lazy. I didn't make the video. So I've had this data for a while. If anything has changed, if any other site has made more information since the ones I've seen, then I don't care, because I made this 3 months ago and I'm not redoing the research that I did. So anyway, we're going to start off by going to our honorable mentions. The first one we got here is David Robinson. He was on one list at number 19. Obviously a great player all time, had a quadruple double. Elvin Hayes was also on a list, or maybe 2, I'm not actually sure. Charles Barkley was on a list, but he had 6 points. Then Bob Pettit had 8 points. Nikola Jokic had 8 points. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 8 points, or had 10 points, and Elgin Baylor had 11 points. Those are our honorable mentions. Before we get into the actual list, I do want you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please comment down below any people that you think didn't deserve it, or did deserve it, or should be higher, or shouldn't be higher. This is the media. This is not my list. This is all according to what the media says that these players are. Anyway, we're going to start off with number 20, Dr. J, with 12, coming in at 12 points. Dr. J was 20th on a few lists. In a few other lists, he was a little bit higher. Great player for his time. He literally saved the NBA. The NBA was going to not be a thing if it weren't for Dr. J being an absolute freak of nature. So him coming in at number 20 makes sense. Number 19, Kevin Garnett, coming in with 13 points. Kevin Garnett came in, I think, on every single list. Kevin Garnett, obviously one of the best defenders. He's one of the probably top 3 greatest trash talkers of all time. Just a great all-around player. At number 18, we got another power forward, Dirk Nowitzki. Post God, fade God. Dirk Nowitzki, a guy who I don't think anybody can hate, obviously won an MVP in his career and somehow beat the Heat in the finals. And just 2011 was one of the greatest finals wins you'll ever see from a team and from an individual player. Number 17, we got Karl Malone. We got another Malone at number 16. We got Moses Malone. I don't know much about Moses Malone. I believe he's in the group of guys who has 3 MVPs, which is like Jokic, LeBron, Jordan, Abdul-Jabbar, like all those guys. He's in a group of them with 3 MVPs, so he's obviously good, but I don't know much else to say. I don't know what else is about him. I don't know. At number 15, we have Jerry West, the logo of the league. He's coming in at 20 points. Jerry West is the only player all time to win a finals MVP on the losing team. And he's the logo. This one is surprising. I don't agree with this one. I don't think many people agree with this one. Steph Curry coming in at 20, or at, wait, hold on. How many points do you have? I think 33. Yeah, Steph Curry coming in at 33 points. That's 13 points above Jerry West. Again, the greatest shooter of all time. He has 4 rings, finals MVP. He was the best player on the greatest team of all time. Greatest regular season team of all time. I mean, there's not much to say except for Steph Curry is an absolute baller. and he's a couple-time MVP. I believe he's top 10. I think most people believe he's top 10, but according to the media right now, Steph Curry is only 14.
What?
With 38 points, or 36 points, is Hakeem Olajuwon. Probably the greatest defensive player we'll ever see. Probably will, unless Wemby plays like 20 years, I don't think anybody will ever beat his blocks record. Coming in at 12 with 38 points is Kevin Durant. Now this is a rough placing for him. He has 2 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, or an MVP, two-time Finals champion. He's a great player, but he hasn't done nothing without Steph Curry. He's done nothing without the Golden State Warriors super team. In my opinion, Steph Curry is better. Hakeem is better. I think he moves down. Number 11, Mr. Triple-Double, Oscar Robertson with 42 points. First guy to ever average a triple-double in a season. He's amazing. I don't know much more about him except for his triple-double stuff. I don't even know if he won a ring or not. I couldn't tell you. I'm guessing he probably did, but I don't know. Coming in at number 10, this guy was probably the most fluctuated guy on the entire list. It's Shaq. Shaq came in at number 5, I think, on one list, and he came in at number, I think 15 was his lowest, which would round out to about number 10. He came in with 59 points. Shaq is such a, like, the most dominant center we'll ever see, the most dominant player we'll ever see, realistically. So he definitely deserves to be top 10. I don't know if, in my opinion, he's higher than 10, but Shaquille O'Neal comes in at number 10. At number 9, 1 point above Shaquille O'Neal with 60 points is Tim Duncan. Mr. Fundamental. Absolutely amazing player. The best power forward of all time, in my opinion. Just one of the most decorated players in general of all time. Just an absolute freak of nature. Well, actually, not a freak of nature. That's the thing, is he was just fundamental. At number 8, this will surprise some people. This will be the right place for some people. Another fluctuated guy. It's these Lakers guys. Kobe Bryant comes in at number 8 with 61 points, 1 point above Tim Duncan. Obviously, he won 5 rings. I think the thing that brings him down is the fact that he only won 1 MVP. Whether he deserved to win some of Nash's or not, he only won 1. So, I mean, in my opinion, this isn't the worst spot in the world for him, but I know some people have him at like 2 or 3. So y'all bash this in the comments or whatever. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, obviously one of the greatest influences of all time, one of the greatest players of all time. He deserves to be here. So now, number 7. Mr. 11 rings, Bill Russell. Bill Russell with 64 points. That's 3 points above Kobe. Obviously the 11 rings and the 8 rings in a row is going to be a big thing for people. I mean, he was dominant in his era, averaged 25 rebounds a game and 18 points in his career. He was an amazing player, especially dominant, absolutely dominant in his era. Now at number 6, we got Larry Bird with 71 points. Now Larry Bird was interesting because on 4 of the 5 lists, he was number 7. And on one list, I think he was like number 5. So that rounded him out to 6 somehow. I mean, the greatest trash talker of all time, probably the greatest white boy of all time. Won 3 straight MVPs, won a 3-point contest with this offhand. The legend goes on with Larry Bird, and Larry Bird deserves to be at number 6. Then at number 5, this is going to be the biggest surprise of the whole video. I hope this isn't lagging for real. If this is lagging for real on the video, I'm going to actually be pissed. Number 5, coming in at 79 points. Wilt Chamberlain came in at number 5. I don't know how. The media absolutely adores. The media absolutely adores Wilt Chamberlain. Yes, he had a 100-point game. Yes, he averaged 50 in a season. Yes, he's the greatest player of their singular generation we've ever seen. But he didn't win anything. He did win a little bit. He won a little bit, but he didn't win much. I don't agree at all. I don't think most people agree. Wilt Chamberlain is not a top 5 player of all time, but in this list, according to the media, Wilt Chamberlain is the 5th greatest player of all time. Now to number 4, coming in at 81 points, I believe, or coming in at 82 points, sorry. And here's the thing, for the top 4 players, everybody was about in the position they are. Like, it was consistent. There's one list that was really crazy. Magic Johnson comes in at number 4 with 82 points. He was number 4 on basically every single list. I mean, the greatest passer of all time. He's a great playoff performer. I mean, there's an endless list of things that you can say about Magic Johnson. I don't really think I have to explain much. I think he deserves to be number 4. Why is my camera not focused? Now I gotta wait for my camera to focus because I look like a freaking blur. A red blur. Come on. All right. Now, number 3. Number 2 all time in points. 6 MVPs. 6 championships, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Probably some defensive player of the years. I don't know. He's great. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The skyhook guy. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came in at 91 points. Number 2, coming in at 93 points. You would think it would be 98, right? Or like in the 95 plus, 93 because he was put 5th on one list. He was put 5th on one list. LeBron James. I don't understand. I don't understand how he got. I think it was a Sports Illustrated article, and it might have been an older one. Wow, he was put 5th. LeBron James, obviously, he's 1 or 2. I'm not going to put my opinion on it. If you want to see my opinion on it, then blow this video out of the freaking water. In the media's opinion, LeBron James is the 2nd greatest player of all time. He has 40,000 points. I mean, every accolade you can think of, LeBron James has it. He's number 2 all time. Which leaves one last dude, Michael Jordan, with 99 points. Only one list did he not come number 1. Only one list. LeBron James, 6-0 in the finals, MVPs, everything you can think of. Michael Jordan, one of our top 2 greatest player of all time. He's absolutely fantastic. He definitely deserves to be here. Him and LeBron are interchangeable between most people. I'm not saying who I think is better right now because it doesn't matter. The media says that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James.